I plan to hold hands with my friends, fuck a little bit of shit up maybe.
I'm just going to cruise and see how it has around. Got no expectations, except I think the cops might be a bit brutal here. Free the refugees!
I've been in detention for 14 months, and people in there are suffering. They are suffering psychological, there's a great amount of psychological suffering inside.
Van Stone's announcement just 2 days ago that no other boat will ever reach this country, that she has the gall to tell us that every boat that comes to this country will from now on be turned around. How dare the government institute this policy, and how dare the government say that all these people who we know will eventually claim asylum, and our friends who are now living in the community who are locked up for 3 years will never reach Australian shores. Not only will they not reach Australian shores, but when they are found to be genuine asylum seekers, they'll be relocated to a third country.
So during these few months, we are very afraid that massive people, like we're talking about tens of thousands of people, will be processed, having their organs cut off and then burned immediately to destroy all evidence of such, concentration camps. Because we always knew that there were concentration camps in China and gulag camps, as reported by the Western media. However, we did not know there was a systematic apparatus where people's organs are harvested and sold on the black market.
What I'm saying is right now we're out here. We'll be downtime. I've got a big Christmas brand in your car.
Is everyone feeling guilty?
Lobby G.
That's not the Bob Evans problem.
Free refugees! Free refugees! Free refugees! Free refugees! Free refugees! Free refugees! Free refugees!
Of course, everyone here who lives here has to wake up every day to see the horrendous, immoral, inhuman detention centre policy that is the Australian government. Since 1992, mandatory detention was instituted by then a federal Labor government. The first detention centre was Port Hedland.
We started in 2000 because of the courage of the people behind the razor wire. We might think there's not many of us. If we look at the last years, Port Hedland is closed down. Hanson is closed down. Will be closed down. I'm sure of that.
Azadi, Azadi, Azadi miya man mi donna.
Free the refugees! Lock up hard! Free the refugees! Lock up hard! Free the refugees! Close the gap! Open the doors! Close the gap! Free the refugees! Open the doors! Close the gap! Free the refugees!
Jimmy's me name, me shirt be stained by prison stripes, my ankle lamed by ball and chain. Transportation be my bane, for I be blamed for stealing a loaf of bread, they said. Sentenced to this island dread, I be dead. On arrival on this convict isle, be I survive just a while. The rats, scurvy and denial of this colonial empire, of this colonial empire.
Muhammad, firstborn son, only one left of a family, gunned down, moved from a motherland.
Victoria government's new hardline immigration policy, which could see women and children asylum seekers back in detention centres. Daniel Street reports.
They claim the rights and needs of asylum seekers are again being thrown overboard. But as refugee supporters tried marching on John Howard's Kirribilli home in protest against his toughened refugee policy, they were soon pushed away. Mr Howard didn't hear their message. Instead, the Prime Minister was in Canberra attending an Easter church service, but his new policy hasn't impressed prominent church leaders.
To hear that children are to be locked up again by the Australian government offshore is devastating.
Recent policy kept women and children out of detention, but Immigration Minister Amanda Vanstone's confirmed under the new proposal all asylum seekers, including women and children, will be processed offshore on the islands of Manus and Nauru. Bruce Baird told 9 News, though he and his party rebels feel betrayed, they're holding fire until Parliament returns, when he says they'll fight with all guns blazing in the party room.
2 inmates from Holsworthy are in a stable condition after being taken to Liverpool Hospital this afternoon. The Immigration Department won't comment on a claim that one of the men swallowed a disposable razor.
Across the long weekend, refugee advocates have been making their anger clear. Today, amid a heavy police presence, they took their message to the Prime Minister's Sydney residence, Kirribilli House. John Howard wasn't at home to hear their protests. He spent Easter Sunday in Canberra, joining the Governor-General at a morning church service. The government's new policy on asylum seekers was announced last week and followed Indonesian anger over the granting of temporary protection visas to 42 Papuans. In future, all asylum seekers who arrive in Australia by sea will be sent to offshore centres while their claims are processed. Refugee advocates fear children will suffer.
There will be children locked up and the keys thrown away.
Sinemo dut manawa darna migra alaigo barchikar musarna migra Sinemo dut manawa darna migra alaigo barchikar musarna migra Sinemo dut manawa darna migra alaigo barchikar musarna migra Sinemo dut manawa darna migra